Okay, hello everybody. What's up? It's me, Pixel. And we are back with part 3 of our zombie Aerith run. Last time we made it out of Midgar. And so today we are headed for Calm. In the meantime, though, I am going to be doing a little bit of stuff. I'm pretty sure I can steal a weapon for Barrett here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, from these W machine guys. So we're gonna sense, you sense the other one, and then steal. Okay. Weak against light. Okay, yeah, I mean, with there being 2 of them, you know, I'm gonna get rid of one of them just so I take less incoming damage here. Okay, that guy's dead. Ah, there we go. Atomic scissors. Excellent. Okay. So anyway, guys, what's up? Like I said, this is part 3 of our zombie Aerith run. For those that don't know, we are attempting to do a complex series of glitches discovered by the FF7 speedrunning community that allows you to essentially trick the Steam version of the game into putting Aerith into your party when she's not supposed to be. Yo, what's up, Bonus Mom? But we won't be doing this for a few dozen hours from now. It'll be quite a few number of play sessions before we get to that. So we're just playing through the game as normal until that point. We set up a bunch of saves already in and around the Shinra HQ to set this whole thing up when we first started the game. And now we are out here doing the thing. So, Sour Patch Dana, welcome in. How are you? What the crap? Uh-oh. That was real weird. I think we caught her in a weird part of her animation as she hung for a second. I don't think I can open that. Yeah, okay. Also, sorry I didn't stream much last week. I did get sick. So it was kind of annoying. I don't know why that dog was in there. Very odd little thing there. Can't open it. Hell yeah. I need to stop getting stuck. Have I played the remakes? Yes, I have. I have played the remakes. I enjoyed them. I feel like they're like, in terms of graphical fidelity and stuff like that, they're everything I would have wanted. I personally prefer the turn-based stuff because I'm an old man, you know? So like the active time battle system, like it was fine, but it's not really what I want out of an FF7 remake exactly. Like, but you know, it was well done. And then, I also feel like the added story stuff that they're doing, I'm kind of like, I'm not that big a fan of it, to be honest. Like, a lot of the stuff, I'm sort of like, again, sort of just my opinion, but I'm kind of like, I don't really know that this game needed that. If I'm an old man, what does that make you? Who can say? Certainly not I. But I just mean that in the sense of like, you know, I got used to playing turn-based JRPGs. Oh, Bonus One, thank you for the subs. You know, way back in the day when I was a whippersnapper. I wish they kept to the original story more, like the turn-based. FF7 is your favorite game ever? Nice. FF7 OG is probably my favorite game ever. 7 through 10 were like the ones I grew up playing. And it's like, a lot of the stuff, like for instance, in both games, all the stuff with Why does that go off the screen there? That's odd. All the stuff with like Kyrie in the 2 remakes, I'm like, we didn't need that. Like that added literally like nothing in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, not to just pick out that one thing but it's like emblematic of like all the new stuff that they added that I'm kind of like, was Final Fantasy VII worse off because it didn't have this? Like, not really. You know, but I mean, I'm still playing them, so I guess Square Enix gets the last laugh.
Money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure. And make me wanna dribble dribble. You know, riding in the fear, you really have to see it.
Okay. Bonus Mom is having fun with all my channel point stuff. So anyway, yeah, so I liked the remakes, and they were graphically and presentationally everything that I would have wanted them to be. And I could put up with the changes to the combat system, but the like, you know, I don't know, the way that they're approaching the story and this like multiverse, like multiple timeline thing, I'm like, it's fine. Certainly I enjoy getting to play as Zack. He's one of my favorite characters, but I'm also like, I just really don't know that FF7 was originally worse for not having had this stuff. You know what I mean? Welcome in, Witchy Poo. Oh boy, I don't know. Okay. Mithril Saber is worse than what I have. They should have left that as a standalone game. It's not really a remake when you add all that. Yeah, that's also my thought. Like, why call it a remake? You know, if you're just gonna like add all that. Oh shit. Okay. Dream Stream coming in with the raid. Damn, welcome in. Now I gotta go lurk on somebody else. Welcome in, buddy. How you doing? How was the stream? Came to check this out. You're not familiar with Final Fantasy. Gotcha. Well, Final Fantasy VII is a Japanese role-playing game, or JRPG, that came out in 1997 or so, I think. The 7th installment in the series, which goes all the way back to the mid to late 80s, I think. I forget when the very first one was. I want to say like 1985 or 87. Could have even been 83. I don't really know. But so it's basically a franchise that's been around about as long as video game consoles have existed. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It essentially features a ragtag group of people who begin the game fighting against a sort of tyrannical, oppressive corporate government, and then through the course, sort of run into more cosmic, like enemies, namely the Sephiroth character that we're about to have a flashback about. And then this thing we're doing, I'm calling it the Zombie Aerith run if you're looking at the title of the stream, because there's a character that dies, and people in the speedrunning community figured out a very complex series of glitches using nothing other than the code of the game itself to essentially trick the game into putting that character back into your party. And that is what we are going to attempt to do. When did we get this game? We played the first PC port. So the game came out for PlayStation 1 in 1997. I believe by 1998 it had come out as a PC like port. Like they, you know, changed, like they basically remade the game code to slot into a PC instead of a PlayStation. They call those ports. They made a PC port of the game that I think came out in 1998, and I'm pretty sure we would have bought it in 98 or 99 at some point. Busy raising my kids. I knew the game, but not the story. Gotcha. Before we got to Alabama, yes, we played this in Utah when the computer was in the room at the end of the hall from where Redbeard and I stayed. And we installed it on whatever computer that was. We first found it, I'm pretty sure, I don't know what game it was, but either Dad or us, one of us bought it, or it might have even came in like a video gaming magazine or something, but there was like a little demo disc, a CD that had little demos of a bunch of different PC games that were coming out. And a little snippet of this game was on that. And we had never really played a game like it. And it's an odd little snippet of the game, to be honest. But it was our first experience with it. And then we saw it in the store and you guys got it for us. We played the first thing. And what's funny is like this game, essentially how this game is sort of technologically, what we're looking at here. We're looking at a pre-rendered background. So all the pixelated stuff on screen that you're seeing, that's a pre-rendered background. Essentially, that's like a drawing, okay? And the programmers have essentially programmed coordinates on the screen where the characters can walk, being all the floor, right? And places where they can't walk, being things like those beds. And then there's like little tiny video files, basically, almost like GIFs in a way, that handle those flickering lights there, right? And then the characters that you're looking at are made with polygons. So they're essentially like little 3D, models of just shapes that then get colored. This is all relevant, I promise. At certain points in this game, they play these things called FMV, or full movie videos, or anyway, it's basically like a fully rendered CGI like video file that is like stored in the data of the game. And it's basically the same kind of technology as like a Pixar video, but like earlier, right? It's like a CGI animated, okay. And on the original PC that we played this on, something about the video drivers when we installed it got a little weird, and all of the FMV videos for it played upside down. So the first time Redbeard and I played through this game, we had absolutely no idea what was happening for any of it. We were too young to really understand a lot of these concepts, even about like this corporation and these like, ecological resistance faction and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then to add to the confusion, a lot of the game's most important cutscenes played upside down. So, anyway. But you persevered. Indeed, I did. But this game was Square Enix's kind of breakout hit in North America. Their games had sort of like, some success, the previous Final Fantasy games. They never sold as well in the US as they did in Japan. And this was the game that really kind of supercharged their penetration of the US market. And kind of really globally as well. Did well in Europe and stuff. It's also the first one they did on the PlayStation as opposed to the Super Nintendo. And the move to the PlayStation allowed them to do this kind of graphical stuff that we're seeing on the screen now with the pre-rendered backgrounds and the polygon characters. Bonus Mom, thank you for the bits. Also, this game allows you to name all of the like main characters of the game. And just so everyone knows, I have named them all after Kingdom Hearts characters. Having to learn how to send bits. Okay, gotcha. So this guy on the right, Sephiroth, he is like a legendary soldier and war hero, and we're about to go through a backstory of how he essentially becomes a villain. And that's what this whole flashback is. Give me my pizza. What was my favorite game while at Fort? I don't know. I mean, I feel like this has kind of always been my favorite game, but... What did you and Beast have the most fun playing? I mean, we played lots of stuff, you know, over the years. It depends on the, it honestly depends on the period of time. There was one summer where it was like the first summer maybe after high school where I stayed with him for a while that summer, and we played, what's the word I'm looking for? We played Star Wars Battlefront 2. 14 damage. Bam! And I'm down. R.I.P. Cloud. So you tenderness how far and I felt about Mortal Kombat. Tenderness how far? Do I remember how you and Dad felt about Mortal Kombat? Is that what you're trying to ask me? Yo, Reams, what's up, buddy? How was the stream, man? Yes. Yeah, I mean, I remember that you guys were, like, worried about it, but you guys tried it out on the Super Nintendo and ended up letting us play it. But kind of always vaguely uneasy about the amount of violence and blood in it. One-Winged Angel, so amazing, yeah. Building things more efficiently, hell yeah. We didn't want you to turn into terrorists. And then the government went and turned themselves into terrorists. Damn.
Well, that's just really unfortunate.
Do you guys want me to tell you spoilers as we go through this, or do you care? Yep, 100. Let's see. Bonus Mom, miss you guys too. Should be in talks. Our neck of the wood in October. Okay, cool, cool. Anyway, so what's happening right now, we're having a flashback where the main character, Cloud, is relating a series of events that happened 5 years ago. Passing out, much love, BFam. Run on, Reams. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Our main character is relating a series of events that occurred 5 years ago involving this character, Sephiroth, to the other members of the party. We ran into Sephiroth, sort of, back in Midgar. Yo, Lily, what's up, what's up? Anyway, so Okay, let's see. There's a little bit we can do running around and talking to people. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Just realized your birthday's in 168 hours. Oh, wow. It's only a few days, right? $17th? Nice. So anyway, Cloud is relating the last conversation he has with his mother. Because he's in town. Basically, the Sephiroth and the rest of these guys, they're in town to investigate monsters coming from this reactor. Okay. Did I go into Kyrie's house? Yes, I did. I thought you might be home. So this is Tifa's room, also known as Kyrie's room. The graphical design reminds you of Harvest Moon. Yeah, that's fair. I think Harvest Moon also probably used this same technique of having pre-rendered backgrounds with polygon-based character models. That was a pretty common technique to sort of like simulate 3D space without having to do the amount of rendering that it would take, which obviously nowadays we don't have to worry about with modern graphics cards and stuff, but you know. So this is the guy that taught Tifa how to do martial arts. His name is Zangan, and he like traveled around the world teaching people, you know, stuff. This is my all-time favorite game, yes. The presentation is certainly a little dated compared to modern games, you know. But yeah, it's just one of my favorites. What about Duke Nukem 2? I mean, Duke Nukem 2 was fine. Of the Duke Nukems, I think Duke Nukem 64 was the one I would have spent much more time with. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Yo, what's up, Pandemonium? Welcome in, friend. Headed to bed, have a good stream. Right on, Bonus Mom. Thanks for hanging out, and we will catch you tomorrow. How's it going? We're doing all right, Pandemonium. How are you, man? We are playing through Final Fantasy VII. We're doing a, it's not really a run. The speedrunning community found a series of complicated glitches that you apparently can use to trick the Steam version of the game into putting Aerith back in your party after you don't have access to her anymore. And so we are going to attempt to do that. One of your favorite games was Glover. Oh, heck yeah, Lily. Did you hear that Nintendo's like online virtual console thing? I think Glover is getting like added to that along with the OG Smash Bros. And there was something else. There was like one other one. I forget what it was. Anyway, so yeah, there's this complicated series of glitches that takes advantage of a like memory oversight in the PC port of the game that made its way into the Steam version when they ported it over from the OG PC port. And you can apparently use that to like warp the characters. They added Glover to PS5. Oh, really? That's cool. I didn't know that. I remember playing it, but like I wasn't very good at it, so I just like we used the Game Shark because I couldn't figure out what to do with it, but can't justify the $20. So yeah, I hear you. Oh no, the rope bridge fell. Womp womp.
Well, that's just really unfortunate.
So anyway, so basically what we have to do to make this whole glitch thing work, there's a series of saves in and around the Shinra HQ that we had to make on the way through the game the first time. And then we're going to get all the way to after the death scene or whatever. And then we're going to use a glitch involving Yuffie and some wacky stuff we can do with that fight where you go to recruit her. So we have to not recruit Yuffie until that point. But if we do that, we essentially can take advantage of this crazy glitch to warp our characters through save files. It's pretty wild to like force the game to essentially put us in places we're not supposed to be with parties we're not supposed to have, and we can use that to force ourselves back into Midgar. Is that at all? He just nukes everybody. Nice. We can use that to put ourselves back into a very particular spot in the game in Midgar and go through a boss fight where the game like re-adds Aerith to the party after that. And then we have to like warp ourselves back. It's long and complicated, but long story short is I have to play through the game as normal until we get to that point, with the one caveat of I can't recruit Yuffie. Otherwise we won't be able to do the thing. So we did hopefully all the setup we needed to do, you know, back at the beginning. And then we got to play through the game normally, and that's what we're doing now. But we got a long way to go. So we are in the flashback scene in Calm. Then we've got to go through what? Mithril Mines, Fort Condor, Junon, Costa del Sol, Mount Coral, the first run through of the Gold Saucer, the Chocobo Race, the Coral Prison, and then Mount Nibel, whatever. God, we gotta go all the way through Rocket Town the first time. You know, like, there's a lot that we gotta do. We gotta go all the way through Temple of the Ancients. So I forgot Gongaga too. And then after Temple of the Ancients, you know, we have the City of the Ancients, and then the death scene happens. So we got a long way to go. Yeah, basically the whole game. Yeah, I mean, we've got to go. It's like halfway through at least. Maybe a little past halfway through. I forget. And then once we do that, we can then recruit Yuffie and then carry on with the game as normal. And Aerith is there. It does have there's like a couple of scenes that we can't do. You know, with Aerith in the party, otherwise it like messes up the game. But aside from that, and I guess I need to write down what those scenes are. Honestly. Okay. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Okay. I need to like make a list. Scenes we can't bring Aerith to. Okay. Boom. Boom. I love this song. It's called Underneath the Rotting Pizza. The soundtrack for this game is one of the best in gaming history, in my opinion. Of course, that could just be all the nostalgia. Also, I would just like to point out that these reactors, which are essentially meant to sort of be a fusion of like nuclear reactors and like oil extraction and stuff. The OSHA violations in these places, man. Look at this. We're just like we're climbing on chains. We're walking on pipes. There's no guardrails on anything. Like, if you ever wanted to know how you can tell Shinra is an evil corporation, just look at all the OSHA violations. Of course, the unlicensed human experiments happening in these pods also. Got an early morning, headed to bed, have a good stream. Right on, witchy people. Well, thanks for hanging out, and we will catch you later, friend. Music for this game is so fucking good. Did I close the valve? I don't know. Where's the valve? Oh, there it is. Okay, we're gonna look in the tank. What do we find? There's a person in there with teeth. Okay, so essentially Sephiroth here is having a meltdown, asking if he was created in the same way that these monsters were created, and the answer is actually no, he wasn't. But, you know, he's having a meltdown about it. Okay, this is one of the full FMV movies. See, that's like CGI. This, on my original playthrough of this game, this would have been upside down. So this is one of the creatures from the pods. We don't have to fight it or anything. It's just sad. Am I human? I didn't really understand what Sephiroth meant then. I was even more surprised that Shinra was producing monsters. Damn Shinra, the more I hear, the more I hate him. That's right. Who would have ever thought the Mako reactor held such a secret? That would seem to explain the increase in the number of monsters recently. I think we should listen carefully to Sora. Don't you think so, Riku? Got these names. Alright, let's take a save. Sora's passed. God. Oh. Okay. Alright, gang, so we are in the infamous Shinra Mansion. Later on, we'll be back here a couple of different times for various different reasons. And yeah. There's an optional character we can recruit here. There's a secret material we can get. There's lots of stuff. There's even a secret scene that explains a lot of the Cloud's backstory that we only get if we come back here at a certain point. In any case, this is where Sephiroth loses his mind, because he's a dumbass. Couldn't be me. This room right here is where the secret character is, but we can't recruit him until later. He may be a dumbass, but he's pretty, according to your wife. Yes, he is one of the, he's in that like category of villains that people like to thirst over for some reason. You know, I for one find all the like murder of innocent people a bit disqualifying in my romantic partners, but I guess not everyone is wired the same way. I mean, obviously it's fictional, you know, but anyway. All right, so basically he has a nervous breakdown because he reads these books that tell him that he's an ancient species of superior person, which turns out to not even be true. He's actually been infused with alien DNA from an evil alien that wanted to destroy the world. We don't kink shame in this house. There you go. Okay, all right. So now everyone be prepared for the most traumatic day of Cloud's life. Very sad time. Froth is laughing. Oh, incidentally, our main character is going to spend 5 years in one of these 2 tanks of green goo. But, you know, that's the story for another time. Is it the day they ran out of hair gel? Nice one. The planet originally belonged to the Cetra. Cetra was an itinerant race. They would migrate in, settle the planet, and then move on. At the end of their hard, long journey, it was said they would find the promised land and supreme happiness. But those who disliked journeying appeared. They stopped their migrations, built shelters, and elected to lead an easier life. They took that which the Cetra and the planet had made without giving back one whit in return. Those are your ancestors. Long ago, disaster struck the planet. Your ancestors escaped. They survived because they hid. The planet was saved by sacrificing the Cetra. After that, your ancestors continued to multiply. Blah, 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 blah. I can talk. Now, all that's left of the Cetra is in these reports. What does that have to do with you? Don't you see? An ancient named Genova was found in a 2,000-year-old geological stratum. She wasn't an ancient, she was actually an alien. Genova Project. The Genova Project wanted to produce people with the power of the ancients, or the Cetra. I am what was produced. Produced? Yes, Professor Gast, leader of the Genova Project and genius scientist, produced me. How did he just found another childhood video game on the PS5? The Gex trilogy? Oh man, I had Gex 64, but I never played any of the PlayStation versions. Oh hey, wasn't there a soldier right there? Where did he go, I wonder? That's not foreshadowing, probably. Oh fuck, oh no! Oh shit! What happened to the whole fucking town? I know I'm making light of it. This is actually all very sad. Yeah, so basically Sephiroth decides that we're all traitors to the planet, even though he's actually infused with the DNA of an evil alien. But neither he nor we know that at this point. So he kills everyone and lights this whole town on fire. And then he goes up to the reactor. Okay. All right, so we're back in the reactor. Oh, look, who's that down there? Oh, you know what? Hang on. There's something I want to do. I'm going to slide this over a smidge. That's close, but let's nudge it back over. Okay, sorry about that, gang. Okay. Yeah, that feels good. Okay. All right, R.I.P. Tifa's dad. Okay. This is all very funny. He has one materia, and it's the preemptive materia, which will be explained here, or explains here in a second how he's able to, like, you know, get the drop on the most legendary soldier of all time. Okay. Mother, let's take back the planet together. I've thought of a great idea. Let's go to the promised land. My family, my hometown, how could you do this to them?
Here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt.
This is also one of the FMVs that would have played Upside Down.
Taste the salt.
Alright, so this thing in the jar, this is Genova. It's an evil alien that came to destroy the planet. And it's also the thing that Sephiroth's DNA was taken from. Okay. So anyway, then this is apparently the point at which Cloud doesn't remember what happened anymore. And that's where our flashback ends. Shinra shipped it from Nibelheim to Midgar. None of this makes sense. What a fascinating story. Okay, now we are all caught up here. All right, gang. Couple of things. First things first, I want to switch this guy in and give him his new weapon. Okay, the atomic scissors. Bam. Okay. And then PHS. Next, we want you. Equip you with that one. Yep. Okay. And PHS, and I'm going to be using Donald and Goofy because of the Kingdom Hearts theme for this run. Makes that kind of funnier than not doing that. Okay, neither of those are good. Yeah, okay. Okay, Hard Edge, Carbon Bangle, Star Pendant, Mithril Armlet. Okay, I don't have any more Carbon Bangles. Okay. Alright. Now, I do want to see what, like, there are... I don't know. I'm probably going to do my usual thing of grinding up until I can beat the Midgard just because it's kind of a meme for myself at this point. In the process of doing that, I'm going to get a bunch of weapons. Okay, so we have that. We have that. We don't have... Oh, no, we have that. We don't have that, but we don't really need it. And then... Yeah, we're good. Okay. I like to just collect all the stuff, honestly. I'm kind of a collector in these games. Okay. Okay. All right, gang. Now we are headed to the Chocobo. Farm. Ranch. That's the one. Ranch. Okay. Okay, we get our first summon materia now. I just watched someone on my that I'm lurking on make a classic blender on Elden Ring. Okay. Oh, I also need to equip that materia. Who? You. Have room for the Choco and Mog. Let's go. Yeah, this guy's basically telling me about this enormous serpent creature called the Midgard, and that we need a Chocobo to avoid it, but we're not going to avoid it. we're gonna fight it. And we're gonna kill it. $2,000 gil. Jeez. All right. I do need the Chocobo lure materia. All right, gang. Oh, you know what I also didn't do? I don't think I got Matra Magic on the enemy skill. Yeah, I don't think I have any of... Oh, I do... No, I do have Matra Magic. Okay. Sorry. I actually need to look up. Come on. Okay, I need to look up... Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Matra Magic. We already got that. The next thing on my list is level 4 Suicide. Okay. God, so many back attacks. Okay. Da, 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 da. Hell yeah, look at that. Okay. How are we doing on cash? We're at 1,300. We need 2K to buy that dumb materia. I should also probably just save. In case I die. Okay. Damn. Anyway, we're gonna be here for a little while, folks. So, how's everybody doing out there? So yeah, usually what I do here is I grind until somewhere between level 25 and 30. And that is usually where we need to be to get the beta enemy skill from the Moon Grizzalem. And then with that bad boy, you can cruise through a huge chunk of this game. Hey, yo, there we go. All right. Wonderful. Okay, level 12, 149. Heal. And then I'm gonna wait for that last one to cast level 4 suicide. Okay. Damn. Damn, he's just not using it. Poor guy. Damn. Alright, he's not doing it. Fuck this. Brutal. Uh-oh. Okay. Where are we? Oh, we're at 3K. Okay. All right. Okay. 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 Okay, we are sleeping. Oh no! That's not good. I don't have any money. Okay, I don't really feel like dealing with this. So we're just gonna summon. Hey, there we go. Okay. Hey, look at that. Now we got enough money. Take a nap. Do-do-do-boo-do-do. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. All right, gang, back to the grind. Let's see, what do we got? Okay. Got a long way to go. I'm trying to get there's also a enemy skill we can get here while we're at it, the Choco Buckle skill. I am trying to get that. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Okay, 1500. Okay, let's see, how are we doing? 1800. I'm hoping I come across those stupid moles again. Come on. Hey, there we go. We got his next level 1 limit break. Okay, here we go. Hey, that's what we needed too. Heck yeah. Yep. Okay. Fuck. 1 damage. Woo! Okay, now... Item... Phoenix down, Sora... Magnet, cure... Him... Okay. Then... We're just gonna nuke everybody. Alright, so now we have the level 4 suicide enemy skill, which means now we can try to get the Choco Buckle enemy skill. Which I do need to look up. Let's see. Okay, level 16 Chocobo. I don't know which one of this is a level 16 Chocobo. Okay. Let's just go buy a bunch of the cheapest greens that we can afford. Well, let's rest first and then go buy a bunch of the cheapest greens we can afford. We won't make the same mistake we did last time. Okay. Okay. All right, there, you there. Boy. Sell me the greens. And we're gonna buy 20 greens. And we still have a little bit left. And then we are going to attempt to do the thing. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to... Okay, the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put on Chocobo Lure. Okay, what can we swap out? I don't need both senses on. Okay, we'll swap that out. All right. I know I just saved, but we're gonna do it again. I swapped some materia around. Okay. So essentially we're gonna run around until we find some chocobos, and we're gonna throw the cheap greens at them, and then we're going to use sense to find ones that are level 4, you know, so which means in this case level 16. And then we'll know who to look for Chocobuckle. Hey, Blade Beam, look at that. You'll love to see it. So now we're gonna swap him over to his level 2 limit for Blade Beam. And let's go ahead and save again. It's a nice little milestone to hit. Okay. Aha! Okay, perfect. Item. Nope, not that one, that one. Throw. Okay. Sense. Okay. So we've got 2 Levicrons. Level 16. Okay. This probably isn't gonna work. But I am gonna use this and just see if it does the Choco Buckle thing. No, it's just gonna run away. Okay, well. Okay, so I do need to spend money on the Mimic Greens to get that to work. But we also know that the Levicron ones are level 16. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Whoops. Oh, God, not that. Okay. Note to self. Pay more attention. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, we're gonna keep doing this. Okay, we got another one of these. Okay, we're sensing level 16. Okay. Come on. No! Can I get out of here before he throws that fucking 1500? Oh, no, I can't. Son of a bitch! That sucks. Damn it.
Here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling salt.
I should have known better than to try that.
Salt, and to the point, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
Okay, ooh, we got a level 2 all now. Hell yeah. Okay. Well, we gotta go spend a bunch of money. Okay, so the 2 birds and the 2 elephants are both level 16. They're probably all level 16 around here, honestly, but... Okay. We spent a bunch of money freaking set of greens. So, but now we know if we hit 2 elephants or 2 birds that we should throw the mimic greens ASAP. Okay, what do we have this time? Okay, well, this is another one we don't know for sure. I'm not even gonna try on ones that we level 13. Okay, I was gonna say ones that I don't know for sure. I'm not even gonna try. What? How? What? How did I didn't even use greens. How did I catch that? That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Okay, so now we know the mix-matched bird and the little grass thing are level 13. Okay, here we go again. Okay, this isn't the one. Okay, bye. Why am I getting a sore throat all of a sudden? Ugh. Where am I at levels wise? 17, 15, 17, okay? Okay, oop. Okay. 13, okay. We're good. Has she risen from the dead yet? What's up, Black Moon? No, she has not even died the first time yet. Right now, we are at the Chocobo Ranch. We just did the calm flashback to Nibelheim scene. So, you know, sequence. And then we are here. We're supposed to be catching a Chocobo to take across the marshes so we don't have to fight the Midgardzalim. But we have a different plan. We're going to stand here and grind until we get powerful enough to kill the Midgardzalim and get its enemy skill, Beta, which will carry us through an enormous chunk of this game. Meanwhile, while we're doing that, we're going to try to get the Chocobuckle enemy skill while we're here from a level 16 Chocobo if we can find one. That is not one. So I'm looking for a Chocobo that has either 2 elephants or 2 birds with it. And then I have to like give it a specific set of greens and use a specific enemy skill on it, and then it should give me the Chocobuckle enemy skill. But as of right now, that has not happened. We keep running it like we keep not running into the level Chocobo that we need, but it's fine because we need to be here leveling up anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. Ooh, there we go. Item. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's the one. Enemy skill. That one. And then you can do that. Okay, great. Theoretically, this guy should hit us with the Chocobuckle. Yes! Score, baby. Okay, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay. So now we have all of the enemy skills that we can have up to this point. I think we've stolen all the weapons and armor that we can kind of effectively get at this point. Oh, you know what I do need to do? Now that Cloud has his level 2 limit break, I need to be working on and getting his, like, second part of his level 2 limit break. So he needs to do 10 things, which means I need to give him Fury. Basically. So. I started playing FF7 off stream on my phone. And it's made me kind of want to buy a little, like, phone controller holder. Okay, there we go. That was a mistake. I need to get up to somewhere between level 20 and 25, I think, in order to have enough HP. Because basically what I need is around 1,000 HP to be able to effectively survive the Midgard Solemn situation. Okay, you know what else? Now that I've done this, let's swap these back. I can take off the Chocobo Lure because we got what we needed. And then I can just go over here and just whee. Hopefully no one gets dizzy watching this spinning situation. Okay. Okay. Okay, hell yeah. Sorry. Oh, dang it. That's what I get for putting things on memory instead of initial. I waste MP. Okay, how we doing here, gang? Let's check everybody's limits. No, we're good. Okay. Level 17. Okay, everybody's good. We've got a level 2 all. We aren't going to have level 2 of anything else for quite a while. Just the way that the AP goes in this game. I think Restore is probably going to be like the next thing we get. Oh, no, we might get Fire level 2. Oh, actually be Ice? Really? Fascinating. Oh, maybe Lightning. Okay, so, yeah, we're still a good ways, but anyway. Oh, God, I fucking... Oh, no. Ugh, come on. I have to retape my glasses again. Oh boy. Okay. How we doing here, gang? We're up to 3K. All right. No, we're good. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, we'll get, yeah. Whoa. Okay. There was something on my mind, and now I don't remember what it was. Oh, Blade Beam. Right. Blade Beam, let's go! Swing Sploon! Zoom! Look at that! Beautiful. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys. I've got about, I think, another 15 minutes in me before I am probably going to call it a night here. We have spent a good bit of time doing this grinding here. My poor throat. Okay. Okay. All right. $18. All right, not too bad, not too bad. It's got Fire Elemental. 5,200, which I could take back and probably buy some whatchamacallit, materials and stuff. All right. So you know what? I think I am going to go ahead and call it a stream, gang. All right, guys. Thank you all for hanging out. We are going to call it a night right there. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow night carrying on, and if we're lucky, maybe by the end of tomorrow night we'll be able to move on to Mithril Mines. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we will be back tomorrow. See ya.